Hello? Oh, it works. I could not log into WebEx for some reason, so the connect button was grayed out and it required me to create an account first. I'm not sure why.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Great, great, thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, Aditya, sir.
Hello, good evening, Leo. Sir here.
Hello.
I hope am I audible?
Oh.
Yes, sir, you are clearly audible.
Yeah. Yes. Good evening, Alex. Alex is on the line.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Hi, Alex. Good evening.
Good evening.
We were waiting
Hi,
for you on the WebEx.
Sorry?
Actually, we were waiting for you on WebEx. So we were talking in between, and we forgot to see the the things on the group.
So now we are
Anyway.
here, and that's great. So we are waiting for Leo. Yes.
No, Leo is there on the line.
So yeah, nice to meet you, Leonid.
Alex sir is very cool. Alex sir is very cool personality.
Very cool. What? Sorry.
He's praising you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is our lobby in our center. So probably we should start with also, as during the morning we should start with our non-educational, yes, non-code things, non-development. So, and here I want to ask whether you assign the roles for our movies or not.
Sorry, roles for what?
So we are going to record some short videos which will finally become a short movie from all the teams. So I want to know whether we are assigned the roles, yes, and the themes, the topics of the videos between us or not.
I'm yet unaware of mine.
No, it's okay.
This is a question more for editor and guys.
Yeah. Yes. I think for the first thing, like the student that we have to now will be okay. Now will be fine if he will communicate with the media team, because related to the project and development, he is having proper knowledge and the things, so that he can convey the report of the project in very well manner. Okay, so I think NAP will be fine from our Indian students. You can, I think, assign any one student related to the media, because what we are doing has to be perfectly conveyed to them.
So I say, is Daniel with us now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Danila, hi. Probably you would join NAP with our small tasks. So I will repeat the information from the morning. So we need one student from Russia and one student from India to communicate with our media department and discussing with them our
project progress.
Yes, our project progress. So probably you will agree to become this guy who will communicate with Sirius media department.
Well, okay, yeah, why not? I think that will be fun.
So yes, fun, and I think very memorable and interesting also. So and guys, what about your welcome videos? We are waiting for it till today's evening, so I don't want to use some strict deadlines, but I think that until tomorrow morning, yes, we need to have them on Google Drive.
Alex, I have one question. That welcome video, we mentors also have to make.
Uh, oh, I don't know precisely, but
Please.
but I no, I think that if we want do this, of
Right.
course, this will be great. But there
Okay.
is no necessity. Yes.
Necessary. Okay. No, because it is whether it is only for the students or even mentors also have to make.
No, we
That is what I
don't.
want.
So we don't have to. But if we want,
Okay.
I think this
Okay.
will we will be very welcome.
Okay. Fine.
Oh, so I think probably we should somehow spoiler our to tomorrow meeting that we
Tomorrow.
that we have discussed with you a little bit later.
Yes.
Our presentations, probably you should,
Presentations.
yes, you should describe somehow this work for our guys, for our colleagues.
Regarding our presentation.
Yes, could you please kindly tell our colleagues what we are going to do tomorrow? Our presentations, probably some photos,
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
some
Okay.
interesting
Okay.
stories, families, and all this stuff.
Fine. Yes. 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 Okay. Just a minute. So yeah. Fine. We have to make three videos. I think tomorrow morning we have only two or three students with us. So I just wish to share the screen. I'm not able to share the screen. Can you allow me? Leo sir, can you allow me to share the screen?
Oh, yes. Yes. Here we are.
Thank you. So in morning we had a meeting related to this. Yeah. So we had to make one short video, and this short video should supposed to contain mainly the oh, yeah, three things. One is a welcome video. So a welcome video which should supposed to contain the basic information regarding the name, age, school, city, okay, about your workspace, okay, your room, table. So anything related to you, you can basically include in this video. The second part is basically a cultural video. Okay, so cultural video in which we can share about what is our culture. You can also share about the food or the science or the city attractions. You can take any one two topics from these things. You may have a food and city. You may include food, city, and family. As many topics you can take, but we have to just make sure that the video length should not exceed 1 minute. So in 1 minute video, okay, you have to include food, science, city attractions, whatever the city. Say, for example, I am living in Baroda. So, what are the main attractions of the Baroda? So, we have a Lakshmi Vilas Palace here. We have the great Maharaja University, Sajirao University here. So, I will share those places. I can also share what is the famous food in the Baroda. Okay, that is about the musical, if the things are there, education system, if it is there specifically, right? And then the third one is the team video. Team video is going to be a conversation between all of us. What will be the experience? How is the experience among ourselves? That the students will share their experience with the Leo sir, with Alex, with me, with Rakesh sir. Okay, right. So that is what one kind of the sharing of our feelings and the sharing of our experience with the team members. So
Yes,
I
and
on
some good will for us, some good words, some very kind words to
yes.
other teams and other our colleagues.
Yes, yes. Say for example, like if I'm talking about Nav, so he is very good at the coding. Amir is also very good at coding. They are putting their best to to make the codes and all. They are very good at the computational skills and all. If I'm talking about Sanchit and the Suraj, they are also putting their best to make the presentation as beautiful as possible. Okay, Daniela is there. He is also technically very good. So this is some kind of the words that we need to talk about the colleagues itself, right? And the very important thing is that all this video have to be shot in the horizontal screen. Okay, right? So
Yes,
that is
and
one,
the duration of each video
each
is
1 minute,
no more
then
than 1 minute.
1 minute. Yeah, that is clear.
So,
So
and what about our probably some presentation day when we will introduce probably our families, some interesting stories from our childhood, or something else?
right. Do we have to make that presentation?
I think it is not very long, so probably we can have it tomorrow evening.
Okay, means you are talking about the first video, welcome video.
No. I am talking
It's not a
about
video.
no.
Presentation.
This is yes. This is what we have discussed with you today.
Okay. Okay, so we have to make. I'm not. I don't remember about the PowerPoint presentation. I think we have discussed about the three things.
Probably yesterday. Sorry for that, but so guys, what I'm suggesting. I suggest to do some very short PowerPoint presentations
Presentation.
where we
Okay.
will put probably some photos from our childhood, some photos with our families. Probably you have pets, your home pets.
I
Yes.
think. I think you have put this post very, very, very long back. I think on first day itself, right? This is
Oh
your
yeah,
post.
probably.
Yes, yes. So this is your post. That in that you have written these things, right? A couple of your childhood photos and a short story about your interest and hobbies. I hope you are able to see my screen, right? And a short story about your professional experiences, isn't it?
I think more or less the same things. Yes.
Not more than 3 slides. Yeah.
Yes, probably you can show some sides of your no, this is some
Okay.
very basic interesting information about you, your family, your city, your interests
Yes.
and stuff like that, just to know each other a little bit better.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do that. We can do that. Definitely.
So I think this
Yes.
is a rather simple task that won't take much time from
Much time.
any of us.
Yeah,
And
we have to just make 3 slides. No, that is more than sufficient. So in that
yes,
we can make a collage of our photographs, right? And in that childhood photographs, school photographs, something we can do. Okay.
so
So I hope
let's conclude. Tomorrow morning, we are waiting for welcome videos,
videos.
each for 1 minute on Google Drives, on your Google Drives. And tomorrow evening, we will add, we will spend some time, probably 30 minutes after we will do our
Team video.
main our main things connected with software development. We will spend probably 30 minutes for some cozy things, yes, to
Yes, yes,
our
yes.
presentations.
Right. Yes, Leo sir. Now, if you can carry on the session because today morning we were really missing you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
So, the first important point actually, where we are from the technical perspective. So, have we resolved our issues related to Binance, where with BitMEX? And so, please, Neb and Amir,
Amir.
yes,
Yes.
your time, please tell us.
Yes. Nab.
Uh,
Yeah. Amir. Okay.
to tell about uh, I don't know uh, how to start.
Well, you remember we nearly fixed this buffering issue yesterday, but there was
Ah,
still something because in the test which NAP demonstrated at that point, we were seeing strange bid-ask spreads, sometimes too big, a few dozen of dollars, sometimes negative, and we got collisions. So the question is whether this is now all resolved.
uh, when I tried his solution, I didn't make uh, as much changes as he did, and the the only bad gap that I had is a negative gap. Um, Also, I realized that this um, this time when we get request that starts before and that ends after we get a snapshot, we actually can apply it because we don't add or subtract something, we set value. So we need to do all the changes. That's the first thing. Uh, and the second, um, I had same issue even when everything was okay and I didn't miss any change packages, change requests, and did them all. Uh, anyway, there was sometimes uh, a negative gap problem, this collision.
We got sometimes collisions.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
I was actually speaking before, and you Amir interrupted me, so I just checked. Okay, yeah. So yesterday I ran it a few times, and I noticed a pattern that we are getting collisions after getting 15 incremental updates after getting the snapshot. Okay, so what I did was after every first we get a buffer, then we get a snapshot, then we are getting 10 incremental updates, then we are again getting the buffer, the snapshot, and then a 10 incremental updates.
No, but
And
we
I
need
have
only one snapshot. We need
yeah,
only
but
one snapshot, I think, and that's it. We apply pending incremental updates to a snapshot. So you say we are getting multiple snapshots.
yeah, but with one single snapshot, we were getting collisions. But when I tried this, I have written a code for 1,000 incremental updates, and I did it thrice and stored the data in these three files,
Hmm.
and I didn't get even one collision. In this, I have written in a very systematic format, like first connected, then received IU, committing updates, then this BIDAS gap.
Yes.
Not even once I get a collision in 3,000 times.
Okay, so no collisions at all.
No collisions.
Okay, what are you doing? I can see. So if you receive multiple snapshots, what are you doing with subsequent snapshots? So you
But
receive one
can you repeat?
snapshot, you apply it to incremental updates, then you say after a while you may receive further snapshots.
Yeah, yes, like we are getting one buffer, then we get a snapshot, then we get incremental updates 10 times, then again we get a buffer, then snapshot, then 10 incremental updates, then and this loop continues. For that I have created this nested loops. Like here we are getting buffer,
Yeah.
then we are getting here. Wait a minute. Yeah, buffer, and then here we are getting the snapshot, and after
Yeah.
that I have another loop for basically 10, and in which we are getting the further 10 incremental updates.
So you explicitly require 10 incremental updates.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. So this type of hardwired logic. Sorry, just for me to understand, um, if we get multiple snapshots, is it because you request them multiple times, or you request them only once and nevertheless you get multiple snapshots?
I request them multiple times.
Okay, so basically your idea is the following. If you request snapshots multiple times, then uh, and then apply not so many, let's say 10 incremental updates, then the probability is very low that you would get a collision. So is it the way you implemented it that way to get rid of collisions?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So it is a kind of way to get rid of collisions. Okay, so let's do the following. Let's consider for the moment, although I can't say that I like this solution very much. It looks little bit, I would say, artificial, and we have to resort to receiving multiple multiple snapshots, which should not be there probably, but nevertheless, okay. So let's use this solution to begin with. I would still have a look. I will have a look myself actually later today whether we can do still one snapshot instead of multiple. But nevertheless, one way or another, we are getting a consistent order book now, right?
Yeah, and I have a doubt.
You have a
Why
doubt.
can't why can't we just, simply get the snap books instead of incremental updates?
Every time we can, but it would be excessively slow. We can
Okay.
actually, but incremental updates are precisely intended to reduce our latency and reduce the load on the system. Because if we receive snapshots over and over and over again, this means that we're using our network bandwidth very inefficiently. Uh, Nevertheless, for your solution, can we run it and see the value of bid ask spread we're getting? So what
Yeah, I
exactly?
have. Yeah, these are the bid ask
Oh, you got it
gap
here.
here. Yeah,
0.01, right?
yeah.
Well, this looks realistic. This looks realistic. It is already much better than before because yesterday we were getting sometimes very large values of bid ask spread. You remember? Actually,
That was actually fault in calculating the bid ask gap. I
it was
was.
fault in calculations. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And we did have collisions actually.
Yes.
Now we don't have collisions. All right.
Yeah. Now we don't.
Okay, so let's do the following. Let's consider that this is a kind of working for the moment. Although I would still have a look by myself later tonight whether we can do any better and avoid multiple snapshots altogether. I think we might be able to, by just using slightly uh, different logic, we might be able to get rid of them, but we will see. So in that case, for the moment, we can move into bitmax. So let's see whether yourself or Amir had done anything for bitmax yet.
Yeah, I went on the BitMEX website. They, like Binance, they have their own website library. They also provided with this code. They made a repository. I just copy paste this code and it is giving this output symbol XBT, which, as you said, is another short form for Bitcoin, and XBT to
Yes,
USG.
it's
And
another
like,
Polkar, right? You're absolutely right. Yes,
yeah, and we are getting two different values like sell and then buy, size and price.
yes, great. So obviously sell is ask side, buy is bid side.
Yes.
Okay. Now, but you are using their own API rather than
Ye-
our.
Yeah, and after that I was trying, but I have tried this much, and
Okay.
without sending any subscription, I just got one anything they are just sending, and send this info. Welcome to the Bitmax real-time API version,
Mm-hmm.
timestamp, and docs link and limit.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So what should we do? Gentlemen, I'm asking Nab and Tamir, are you working mostly on your own or you are communicating? It's extremely, extremely, extremely important to work as a team so that you can really join your forces.
We kind of have a balance. We do communicate. We figure out the algorithm we have to implement, but then we code it individually.
That's okay. That's a pretty good way, I would say. But keeping in touch and keeping communicating is extremely, extremely, extremely important. At least this way we preserve convergence of our tasks, convergence of our code. Okay. So my understanding is you have tried this code as provided by Bitmax
Yeah.
already available API, and you are now porting it to our own infrastructure, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay, that's great. So, is everything in GitHub yet?
No, this Binance final code is in GitHub, but as this code is not fully functional, it is just in development, so I haven't put the Bitmax code in GitHub yet.
Okay, fine. So the Binance one is in GitHub, and Bitmax is still under development. Okay.
Yes.
In that case, I propose that because Binance is at least, working to our satisfaction, we may still improve the method, as I mentioned. So I will have a look at that. But we already got it to the point of working correctly. So we are getting the correct bid-ask spread. We are getting no collisions, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So for today, I propose that Amir and Nab continue working on Bitmax. One question for Bitmax: do we need to synchronize a snapshot and incremental updates as well, or we receive a snapshot automatically at the beginning?
Actually, we have to try by implementing it. We can't say for sure now.
Okay, you will see. Okay, this is one very important thing to be seen. So let's check this. That will be a thing to do tonight, well, and before tomorrow morning. Uh, if we are lucky and Bitmax provides us with a snapshot automatically, then there is no need for this complex synchronization logic. Okay, if we're unlucky about that, then we would have to implement a very similar synchronization logic as done for Binance. But let's concentrate on Bitmax now. Great, and so that's the task for tonight. Well done. Okay, please work together and coordinate as much as possible. Now, my question is for Daniel. So, what do we know about embedded HTTP servers in uh, in Python? So, which solutions are available?
So, okay, I checked some info about HTTP servers. Well, also I dropped the code of the simple example. Can I say if so? And so I need some more info to check out. And after that, I'm gonna change the code and make it more complex. So
Okay.
also I wanted to ask, what will be the purpose of our HTTP server?
Okay, I will explain it. So, basically, imagine that our Python application is connecting to both Bitmax and Binance and it receives data. So two order books are maintained. One from, let's say for BTC for the moment, one for Bitmax, another one for Binance. Okay, suppose that.
Mhm.
Now, eventually, if for example we get our Bitmax order book in by tomorrow, suppose that, then we will be in a position to aggregate those order books. So now, and this is a very good objective because one way or another, the Binance order book is now working. Great. So if we get Bitmax order book by tomorrow morning, then the next step will be to aggregate all of them. But this aggregated data live inside our application. So what we will do, we'll eventually start our application on this Amazon machine, let it run continuously, and it would be receiving, and aggregating the data.
Mhm.
Now, but we don't need a black box. We need some way which would allow us to receive this data here from Amazon machine on our local PCs. How can we do it? There are several ways. The application can, of course, store all this data in a file. And then we can run a separate standalone web server, which will be getting this data from a file. But I would say it is a very clumsy way of receiving the data because it means that they are first saved, although you have already had them in your Python memory, and then read back. This is a very clumsy and inefficient way of doing the things. A much better way would be to equip our Python application with a web server, and then all this data, including the aggregated order book, is staying in memory, and this web server would be able to directly access those aggregated data in memory, transfer them into HTML format right on the fly, rather than reading them from a file, and send them to the client. So for example, a very simple client would be to get best bid and best ask and see whether there are any it's not collisions anymore because it is an aggregated book, but any arbitrage opportunities. So we would highlight the situation when the aggregated order book has best bid being higher than best ask. These are arbitrage opportunities, and they are nice to watch because in this case we see immediately this price differences across multiple exchanges and what is known to be cross-exchange arbitrage. So there are big reasons. Instead of saving data, putting data, dumping data into a file, and then servicing them using a separate web server, to embed web server right into our Python application and servicing this data on the fly. All right?
Mhm.
That's the purpose.
Okay.
Now, my question to you. So, which implementations have you seen actually? Is there a one in the Python standard library, which comes with each and every Python installation, or you are using third-party, or not using, but looking into third-party HTTP server implementations?
Well, for this code, I used http.server library that I think comes that included in basic Python. But if it will be require some more complex resolutions, so maybe I can even use something that's not included in original Python.
Okay, so the standard one, which is included into the Python distribution, you say it is HTTP dot what? HTTP dot server?
Dot server, yeah.
Oh, simply that. HTTP dot server. Great. Okay. If it is provided by each and every Python distribution, so better. Okay. So what I would like to ask you to do now, if we see, okay, this technology exists and obviously it can be used, try to do the following. For the moment, it is not exactly what we'll eventually do, but it will be a proof of concept. So please do the following. Take the Binance client, which already exists in our repository, in our GitHub, the one which had been contributed by NEP, okay?
Mhm.
And try to install, obviously it's better to not to interfere with that one, just copy this code over
Okay.
into your own component and try to embed this http.server component in that one. So our objective will be, let's say, whenever best bid price or quantity, let's say for the moment price, whenever best bid or best ask price change, then the web server should send this update back to the client.
Mhm.
Uh, how would it be? This would probably mean that our embedded web server should also use WebSockets because we will be serving this data back to the eventual user using a WebSocket as well. So you would need to, if possible, implement a WebSocket within your web server and being able to receive this data in your browser.
Okay.
How would it be then? You probably need to write some, I think, uh, JavaScript code for the browser, which would open a WebSocket and then get this best bid best task and the corresponding code on the server side. So that's the
Mhm.
next task. If for whatever reason this http.server does not support WebSockets, then please have a look whether this can be done using HTTP 2.0 protocol, not 1.1, but the latest generation 2.0. So we need to solve the following problem: how to stream best bid, best ask at any time when they are updated in the order book to stream it into the browser using our embedded HTTP server. That's the task for
Mhm.
you. Okay.
Okay.
So by tomorrow morning, also please report how if, well, how you are progressing with that, what kind of technology you are using, whether WebSocket is supported by http.server, how you pack this stuff into presumably JSON. So please tell us everything about that. Okay,
Okay.
great. Okay, so regarding the development tasks, I think everything is clear. What about our presentation? How is the presentation going? Who was in charge with the presentation, please? Who can tell us? Are there any
Yes,
updates
yes,
to the
yes.
presentation?
Myself. I am coordinating with the students, Sanchit and Suraj. They both are working on the presentation part. Today morning we had a discussion on that, and I have asked them to. Means we have discussed about that to keep minimum text and maximum pictures, and try to. Yes,
Yep,
sir, you are not audible. Yeah.
yep, absolutely.
So minimum text and maximum pictures, so that we can have the presentation within maximum 8 to 9 slides. uh, Now the thing is that we are going to try to state the problem statement. So our problem statements are going to have mainly three components. The first one is basically putting a focus on that there are different exchanges, different ECNs for a cryptocurrencies, and different cryptocurrency exchanges may have slightly different rates. We can say the different prices for the
Yes,
given
yes, indeed.
cryptocurrency, right? So in order to compare their prices, we are going to design a platform which is in terms of a software, okay, on which we are going to gather the data from So this will be a kind of a solution part. So one is have they have a different kind of the prices. Now the second point is that all the different exchanges are located at different places, and yeah, different servers means different distances we can say, and the I think there is not a common platform on which this data is basically
Yes,
accumulated.
sir. Because our
accumulated.
topic is something very different from our normal things. Like this is finance. We have to create something very initiated that, and we have to create something very attractive.
Okay. Then the next is about we are going to design one aggregator which is going to also indicate liquidity basically. So our second focus will be on the liquidity aggregator. That is what we are going to design. And the third one is basically which can, we can decide a fair price of a cryptocurrency, and on the basis of which we can also able to identify a particular exchange, okay, which is which has a less deviation from the fair price.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely correct. Yes.
so I think these are the points which we can put into the problem statement. I'm going to frame the statements,
Yeah.
and then I will post it also in a document so that you can correct it maybe in a more
I think
technical
you are
way.
absolutely right. 100% right about that. Absolutely.
So that is one thing. Second thing is about the second problem. Second is about the approach to the problem solving. Okay, so for the first problem, we are going to design a software on which we are going to collect the data from the different exchanges, and we are going to have the data on one server. That server will be designed at the AWS, Amazon Mumbai, and all these things will be there. Second thing, we have also we are going to have one Python client. On that Python client, we are going to have such an algorithm where we are continuously getting the updates, order books, and snapshots, on the basis of which we are able to design a liquidity aggregator.
Mm-hmm.
That is to the second we can say one
Yes.
problem.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
on the basis of which we are going to design a liquidity aggregator, and from that data we can also have one more information. We can decide a fair price. Now I have one doubt, how we are going to decide a fair price of a cryptocurrency.
Well, in general, the fair price will be the following. When we get our liquidity aggregator working, then in this liquidity aggregator, we have again, similar to our order books for individual exchanges, we have bid prices and we have ask prices. Then a fair price, just in the very simple, in a very, very simple definition, it would be just midpoint between best bid and best ask.
Okay, so it is just like a median.
It just a median, yes. In a
Right.
slightly better formulation, because obviously there are multiple ways of how we can do it. In a slightly better formulation, it would be the following. Because it is possible and sometimes happens that very tiny orders are placed into the order book and they unnecessarily affect the prices, which could be actually a sign of market manipulation as well. Unfortunately, especially for unregulated exchanges, this may happen. We will do a slightly different thing. We will compute a volume weighted average price.
Okay.
Actually, I think the time could be right now to demonstrate how it works. So if you don't mind, I will switch my tablet on and I will do some drawings, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
think it would be useful at this point on. So wait a second, please. I'm doing this, okay?
Yes, sir.
This will explain the notion of our notion of a fair price and the whole notion of aggregation, okay? So, where is my drawing pad?
Leo, you have not shared the screen.
I'm
Sorry.
sharing now. 1 second.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's our whiteboard. So, to give you some example about aggregation. Now we're in a position where we will shortly have two exchanges working, two connectors, and therefore we can really think about aggregation now. So, liquidity aggregation.
Leonid, may I say something?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I just realized why our program uh, don't work very well. I think it's because the Binance don't provide us uh, with enough data, because it requests many times to delete elements that doesn't exist. I just uh, print debugged it and find out that about 80% of requests are to delete elements that we didn't have in our dataset.
Oh,
I
so
think because of this, we anyway need to update our dataset very quickly.
so basically you think we're getting some inconsistent data coming from Binance.
Yes.
Let us, it's very difficult to say now, but I'm just wondering, you mean, but in NAP's implementation, this is not the case. Maybe because he reinitialized the order book with snapshots very frequently. Why do you think?
Because of this, but I just downloaded his solution and tested it, and anyway got collisions sometimes.
And
About
you got collisions sometimes.
they weren't very much, but they was negative.
Okay, sometimes you got negative stuff. So I propose, obviously it is a concern. Um, I propose that after today's after this meeting now, please communicate with NAP and you can divide the tasks. So, for example, you can continue looking into the Binance code and fixing it, whereas NAP can continue working on bitmax for today, for tonight,
Okay.
and before tomorrow morning. That would be perfectly
Mm, Leo,
yes.
I have same question.
Yes.
Leo, this is Rakesh. I
Oh,
have one more question of same kind
yes.
in the code. So when we are implementing the logic in order book,
Okay. Would you like to
if the
show something? Should I relinquish share screen?
yeah, sure.
Okay, I relinquish it. Please show. Yes. I think I'm not sharing my screen anymore, right? So you can show yours. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So here I changed some code, mm, not the complete thing.
Okay.
Okay. So we will see the last response.
Yes.
If you can see, there are many values which are having quantity as 0.
Yes, which probably means they are to be removed from the order book.
but this is the order book.
You say this is a snapshot.
Yes.
Oh, so basically you say that in a snapshot, nevertheless, you receive zeros.
Not exactly, but somehow we are updating zeros in the code.
You see, the question is, this chunk of data which we are viewing now, is it a snapshot or it is an incremental update?
This is snapshot ask, and this is snapshot bid.
I
Okay,
think
that
I know what's the reason of this. And do you remember we had a talk about a necessity of code in commit updates function? Nep, please show it.
So here, when the price is in the snap bids dictionary and the quantity is 0, we are deleting the price from the snap bids or snap asks. So I created two functions for asks and also bids, which is working very similarly, but
okay.
just want to see the difference. If you want to implement any difference in asks and bids, I just divided it into two, but the logic is same. I'm taking the snap asks dictionary and also the update asks list.
Okay.
So for every ask in the update ask, we are checking if the price is existing in the snap ask dictionary, then and quantity is 0, then remove that price level. But
Looks correct, yes.
and if the price is in uh, snap ask dictionary and quantity is not equal to 0, then update the thing. But
Yes.
what if update ask list is having a price which is not present in the snap ask dictionary? For example, I have 230. Sorry, just give me a minute. Again, I missed what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I have a price quantity in my updated list which is not in my snap ask dictionary,
Mm-hmm.
which is also equal to 0. It
We should
means
not install it. Zero quantities are not to be installed.
in snap,
Yes,
okay, the price.
yes.
So in that case, we have to iterate on snap asks dictionary, not on update ask list, right? So here it would be snap asks dictionary. I should be iterating it on snap ask dictionary, and I should be updating it with the ask list. Am I right? In that
In general,
case,
I
we
think
will
yes.
only,
The dictionary is the old state, and you obtain it. You update it with a list.
yes.
But for bits, it is what you are doing actually. You traverse the list and obtain the dictionary.
No, here it is same. Both the things are doing same, but initially it was written in this way. Here we are taking the update list and iterating the price and updating the snaps. But we have to iterate it on snap and check if there is any value there and update the snap. You got my point?
Yes, but let's see whether it is a correct. Okay, okay. You see, currently, I believe that. Um, I believe that we need to traverse the list. So still, I think what is done for the bid looks more correct because you see, the dictionary is its current state, you traverse the list. So let's have a look at the bid implementation. You go through the list. The list is delta, the diff, right? That's the diff. Okay, you got a price quantity element from the list. If price is in dictionary and quantity is 0, then delete it, obviously. Because in any case, we delete it if quantity is 0, but if it is not there, then there is no point to delete. If price is in, I would not, just a second, otherwise, I would say, just I think it is easier than that. So you see, in lines 67 and 68, I fully agree with what you are doing. If price is in dictionary and quantity is 0, then delete. Otherwise, I would say else, if quantity is not 0, simply that. If quantity is not 0, then simply assign S&P bids dic of price to be this quantity.
Okay.
Or even better say if
So,
quantity is positive. If quantity is positive. If
okay.
quantity is positive. Because who knows, what if
Well,
we get a
if
negative quantity? If
quantity
quantity is positive,
equal to 0, okay,
or
greater
maybe
than
even
0,
strictly greater than 0, yes. Then
okay, then
S&P bids dict of price. S&P bid dict of
S&P,
price. Bid in this case.
okay,
Of price, yes,
is equal
equals
to
to quantity.
quantity.
Whereas this S&P bids dict of price may or may not exist at that point. If it does not exist, then this creates a new entry with the value equal to quantity. If it does exist,
Okay,
then it is overwritten by the new quantity. I think this is a perfectly correct updating logic.
okay,
What do you think?
then, okay,
Map, can you
so
scroll up or something? What's your actual
here,
code now?
actual code,
Yes, that commits update.
okay, this is the actual code.
I found the bug in my solution. The reason, as Leonard said, really, if there may be a situation where we add a pair of key and value when the value is equals to 0, and when we use check, it affects it, and because of this we get data about deleted value levels. I just fixed it, and I now have done. I made just one snapshot request,
One snapshot, okay.
and requested 1000 change updates.
Okay, and it works?
Yes, it works. Everything
Without
is fine.
collisions?
Yes, without.
Can we see it?
Yes, there is only one function that needs to be fixed, and also there is no need in buffering. You just need to send a request for changes first.
Okay. But could it be
Uh,
that in that case you receive some updates before your snapshot and they need to be dropped? That's why buffer.
Yes, you just skip them and all.
Yeah, I also noticed one thing, like when we request the incremental updates like buffer before the snapshot, then in the Binance API documentation they have mentioned to leave the updates in which the last update ID, that is the small u, is less than the last update ID of the snapshot. Now, if we are requesting the incremental update before the snapshot, then obviously the small u in the buffer update is will be less than the value of last update ID of the snapshot. So generally they are skipped. We just receive them and we don't actually implement them.
So what is your view? Do we need a buffer or not?
uh, uh, I um, I implemented the buffer, but actually it is not doing something. It is not making us any changes
It is not
if we
making any changes
follow.
because the data as we receive are already consistent. Okay. Well, if it works in a more simple way, great. Okay. Okay. Uh, so what we need to do? Very well. Very well. Then uh, Amir and Neb need to really consolidate the versions. So to come up with one consolidated version, which really runs with, let's say, one snapshot and thousands of incremental updates, and it all works. And put that
Okay,
version
Leo,
into
one more,
our GitHub.
uh, Leo, I have one more question before going there.
Yes.
In the Amir's code, I just want to check where it is implemented after taking the snapshot. How we are, I'm sorry, I'm trying to rephrase the sentence. Okay, so we got the snapshot and we got the last update ID in the snapshot.
Okay.
After that, if we are receiving the update,
No,
we
I
have to,
didn't update my code on GitHub. It's all on my PC. And
okay,
I'm okay with using NAP solution. I will just add fixes, and he knows Python better than me, so I think it's okay that we both uh, create
sure.
a logic, and then he code it cleans and with commentaries and all.
So basically, your mode of working will be like a pair programming in an agile team. So you discuss the logic, you make a decision, but the final commit of the code is to be done by NAP with all those comments, cleanly presented code, things like that. That's what you propose.
Yes.
Okay, it's possible.
I also see that as better solution. Yes.
That's perfectly okay. But please, 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 so commit this final code tonight. I will also run it and to make sure that on my side in Moscow, for example, there are no gaps, no BDAS collisions either. Would it be okay?
And yes, yes, Leo. Oh, and I have one more thing to add here.
Yes.
When they are committing code into the GitHub, I would suggest them use the multiple versions in case if it is completely edited. I mean, if they are changing lines of code or any function there, like in one case it is buffer is implemented, in the other case buffer is not implemented.
Yes. So what you can, for example, do, you can create branches in GitHub
Mhm.
and commit two branches, or maybe just commit two versions of the code at the moment, just yes, with the buffer and without the buffer. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Good
that would,
idea. Good idea.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
all from my end.
Yes. So please do commit,
Thank you so much.
consolidate the code and commit, let's say before tomorrow, or before tomorrow morning when we meet again. Okay.
Yes, sure.
Leo, I just by humble request you. I have posted the problem statement in the chat box. Can you just go through it once?
Uh, is it in just a second in
Chat
Telegram or in
box.
Google?
No, on this Zoom chat box itself.
Ah, in Zoom. Okay, okay, okay. Yes. Generally, yes, I would agree with that. Yes, that's a very good point. I think so.
Thank you. You can of course add some sentences or modify the
I
sentences when
may
we.
add something, yes, but as a foundation, I think this is fairly correct.
Oh, thank you. Because I'm, uh, like technically I may be not
No,
correct.
no, no, it's
And
all quite to the point. Yes. So, um, okay, what I think we
For that, I
should
have
do
a question.
now.
Sorry. Uh,
Um, I
this is
propose.
Rakesh.
Yes.
I have a question again. I'm really sorry if I'm interrupting you so many times.
No, 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 no.
I'm having one more question related to the order book when we are updating. So if we take 1,000 rows, 1,000 asks and 1,000 bids from the order book snapshot, and we started updating the order book, what is the minimum data and maximum data I will have after 5 or 10 minutes in my order book?
You may get quite a lot. So, for example, what used to be 1,000 lines may grow, for example, to several thousands.
Okay.
It is quite
And
possible.
is there any chance? Is there any chance that it can decrease also?
It can decrease, but that's little bit less likely because what happens. The orders which are located in far away regions of the order book, very far away from the best prices, they are not going to be filled.
Okay.
And because they are not going to be filled, then typically they would only grow because people would, for whatever reasons, just put extra orders into the depths of the book away from best prices. And that way, I think we are going to get more ordered there, and they would accumulate probably in larger numbers than being deleted. So all in all, we can expect a pretty large order book eventually, but this is okay. Python dictionaries can absolutely handle that.
Because here I'm seeing the highest bid as 1590 15926, and lowest sorry, highest bid as 15909, and the lowest ask is 15926. Is that meaningful or not?
Uh, if the
Because
lowest ask is still greater than the highest bid, then it is perfectly okay. We need to display the bid ask spread to see whether it is correct or not.
okay.
That's
Mm,
why displaying the minimum the minimum ask and the highest bid is always very important because, as we discussed yesterday, it stands for or the order book consistency condition.
Okay, because I'm seeing the minimum price in 0.017437 also. Is that okay?
Let me see. Uh, that's a bit strange.
Because
Which interesting. Yes. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Can we see what is it? I am also surprised. Can we get back to that screen, please? Okay. So extremely basically okay. These are bits, right?
yes, these are asks.
These are asks. Okay.
Yes, these are, yes, first I'm printing the asks, then I'm printing the bits.
Okay, first
So
asks. No, it is very strange. So we are getting a very low ask. So ask with the price next to zero, right? No, that's not
yes,
possible. That's definitely not possible.
Yeah,
We
I think it is not the data for BTC to USD. It may be the data from BNB to BTC. That
you
was
subscribe
okay,
to multiple channels. Then of course it is possible. We need to subscribe to only
okay,
one
BNB to,
one instrument at the moment.
okay, okay, I'm sorry.
Only one instrument.
So no, but still I see the highest price as 15926.
96.3, the highest bid, and the
Yes,
lowest ask.
is 0.001.
No, it's for another instrument. It's for another instrument.
Then
You got a mix up of multiple instruments here.
okay, okay. So you mean to say that I have, okay, got it. Then must
Multiple
be the
instruments.
binding with,
Excuse me, Leonid.
is there a chance?
So what exactly do we need to implement? We need only this the value of the gap, the medium uh, price for Bitcoin, or the whole order book.
Sorry, when you say what we need to implement, you mean in which setup? In general, we need the whole order book, obviously. We just print out this bid-ask spread just to make sure that we're getting it correct. But in general, we maintain the whole order book.
Yes, I understand, but we need to show in our graphic user interface only the medium price. Am I right?
Not exactly. That's what I actually wanted to show you. If I switch back to my screen demo, okay, I
Okay.
will explain actually what we want to do. So first of all, liquidity aggregation. So let's see just by an example how it works like. So we got images of the order book in Binance, BTC USDT, okay, and in BitMEX, which is called XBT USDT, but it is the same thing. So these are same, just different symbols. So suppose that while we're developing our software, the Bitcoin price moved to 16,000 now. Great. So now we'll use 16,000 values. Okay, suppose that for Binance we get something like this. 16,000, and there is a quantity of, for example, 1 here. 16,000, 16,000 and 1, and a quantity of 2. And for example,
So the
sell,
final
sorry,
idea that we want to buy as how to say it? We want to get profit from it.
no, for the moment it is just some information. I'm not talking about what kind of just things we can get. You'll see it shortly. it is just, that's our Binance order book. So we get this type of Binance order book. Just a second. About profit, it would be in a second. So suppose that we have something like this. Okay, 16,000, 16,1, 16,001, 15,999, 15,998. Okay, that's on Binance. That's what we get on Binance. Now, suppose that on BitMEX, it is slightly different. On BitMEX, let's say the best bid would be, for example, 16,000. Actually, for example, and the quantity is 3 here, 15,999, and the quantity of 5, and so on. And asks will start at 16,001. For example, 2 here, 16,003, the quantity of 3, and so on. So we aggregate those data into a single order book. In this case, so here there are no collisions. So we have a $1 bid-ask spread here without any collisions. Okay, so these are individual order books. But for aggregated order book, we may have minimum ask actually touching and crossing the maximum bid. So it would be like this: aggregated order book. So what would be the aggregated bids? Sorry, asks initially. Aggregated asks would be marked as following. So first of all, the best ask from, what is the best ask? Aggregated ask. The best aggregated ask is 16,000. Okay. And at this aggregated ask, we have quantity 1 from Binance. Let me use just for brevity. Let me use the notation. Binance will be denoted by N, and BitMEX will be denoted by M. So it is 1 at N, because quantity 1 came on the ask side from Binance at price 16,000. Now, at price 16,001, in the aggregated book, we have 2 blocks of liquidity. We have 1 block coming from Binance, so we have 2 at N, and we have 3 at M, and so on. That's the ask side. On the bid side, the maximum bid is 16,000 again. So now there is indeed an arbitrage here. So what can we do? We have for bids, we have the highest bid at 16,000 again, and the quantity is 3 at M BitMEX. And below that, we have 2 blocks of quantity of liquidity. We have at 15.99, we have 2 at N and 3 at M, and so on. So our aggregated order book is this. Now, what do we actually display for the aggregated order book? We may, in our web interface, somehow display this complex composition. So really, which prices, which quantities, and where they are coming from. Binance, BitMEX, and so on. So a detailed view. But initially, I propose we do the following. We do a very simple thing. So yes, initially, we can, I will introduce a very important notion. The notion is called VWAP, which is volume weighted average price. volume weighted. I will explain what it means. Average price. It is the following. Suppose that we specify some quantity of 5 bitcoins. Quantity equals to 5. My question is, if you would like to sell 5 bitcoins, what is the average price of 5 bitcoins to sell on the ask side? You see, we have one at 16,000. We have
1 3.
plus 5, but we don't need plus 5. So we have 4 and more at 1601. So this makes together 5. So what is the average price? It is 1 times 16,000 plus at least 4, because we need 4 as a complement to 5, plus 4 times 1601,
16
indeed, divided by
divided
5.
5.
So that's the average on the ask side. So that's ask VWAP. So that's our ask VWAP for the quantity of 5. Now, what is the price on the bid side? Bid VWAP for the quantity of 5. It is 3 at the price 16,000 plus, in order to get 5, you need only 2 remaining. 2 at the price of 15,999, all divided by 5. So you get a certain value. And now we say fair price eventually is precisely a midpoint between ask VWAP, let's say of 5, or maybe some smaller value here, but for the moment, for the sake of the argument, let's say 5, plus bid VWAP of the same quantity. That's our just definition, of the fair price. That's what we want to do. And our web application, initially, I would say, would just translate this fair price computed, for example, this way. Because aggregation is not yet available, I suggest that our web application, which is under development by Daniel, initially just sends similar VWAPs computed on Binance alone, because BitMEX is not working yet. Aggregated order book is not there yet. So for the moment, use same formulas, but apply them to Binance, compute fair price, and send this fair price using WebSocket interface down to any client who connects. That's our objective for the very beginning. Later on, our fair price will be derived not from Binance, but from the aggregated order book. But for the moment, because we don't have the aggregated order book yet, we will derive our fair price from Binance using this formula.
So we need to merge two order books.
Later. For the moment, there is nothing to merge, but later, yes, we'll merge two order books. We'll get an aggregated order book at which not only prices and quantities are displayed, but we also explain where this quantity is coming from. So this quantity is from Binance, this one from Binance as well. This is from BitMEX. So we would have some character attributes specifying where it is coming from. And then computing VWAPs over the aggregated order book. But that can only be done when BitMEX is in, okay?
So now our plan is first to implement BitMEX, the
same as for Binance, yes, same as for Binance.
then we need to merge these order books.
Yes, merge or aggregate, right? Yes.
Then we should learn how to count
VWAP.
volume weighted average price
Yes.
for bits and asks, and then we can count fair price for Bitcoin.
Yes. And by that time, our web interface should be ready. And this fair price would be streamed down this web interface to any client who connects to our aggregator. I think very, very good platform we're going to get.
Okay, can you please drop this desk in
Oh,
Telegram?
yes, of course. Yes, the whiteboard
Yes,
will be in
yes,
Telegram. Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely. For the moment, Daniel is developing the web interface. So, okay, just for simplicity, he would take Binance only, and okay, don't even compute VWAPs. Compute simply fair price at the midpoint between best bid and best ask for the moment, because what we need from Daniel at the moment is just to get the website web interface working, and later on we'll populate it with the right data. Yes, merge the order box, compute VWAPs, and stream this data down.
Okay, so for Daniel, we need to implement a function that returns float, and he will build it in his project
Yes,
by himself.
yes. For the moment, just to get Daniel started, just return the midpoint between bid and task. Just midpoint, no VWAPs, just midpoint would do. Okay?
Okay.
Initially, just midpoint. Okay? Actually, I think that's all from my side for today. I will put this picture into our Telegram channel. And yes, I am looking forward to receive a fully consolidated Binance working correctly in our GitHub, and for you to continue working on BitMEX, and for Daniel to continue working on the web interface. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Wonderful. Any other points anyone would like to discuss?
Okay, I was just actually writing the approach to the problem solution, and the same point I was actually writing in my document also, which you were explaining. So simultaneously, I could note down the things.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. But I have still slight doubt here in this part. This is volume weighted
Average price.
aggregate. Yes, average price. It would be very glad if you can explain this end part slightly again.
Explain this arithmetic of VWAP?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let us explain it in the following way. Suppose that, I think this is more transparent. Suppose that for some reason you need to buy Bitcoins aggressively.
Right.
Just, at this very moment, you really need to buy Bitcoins.
Right.
Suppose that I'm not even talking about the aggregated order book. For simplicity, let's talk about Binance now, because the notion of VWAP would be similar. Suppose that you are a client on Binance and you need to buy Bitcoins right now.
Right.
Actually, to make it a little bit more clear, Let me create, for example, yet another level here, 16002, with the quantity of, for example, 3. Okay. Now suppose that you need to buy 5 bitcoins.
Okay.
So what will happen? You fire up an aggressive order against the ask side on Binance, an aggressive order. That aggressive order will not even get into the order book because it is aggressive from the very beginning. So now see, which price should you specify, first of all, in your order? If you specify the price of 16,000 only,
Right.
then at that price you wouldn't be able to get 5 bitcoins. At
Exactly.
16,000 there is only
Yeah.
1 bitcoin.
Right.
So unfortunately, your order will remain partly unfilled.
Unfilled. Right.
If you specify the price of the maximum price or the limit price, as we call it in trading, the limit price of 16,001, then you get altogether 3 bitcoins at that price, and you are
Right.
still short of 5.
Right.
Now it is clear that you need to specify the limit price of 16,002.
Okay.
And then you really get 5. And then, because there are altogether 6, and
6,
as a
yeah.
result, yes, even 1 Bitcoin remains still standing at 16,002. So 1 is not taken, and the others are taken completely. So this level is taken completely, this level is taken completely, and here
Right.
from 3 only 1 remains. Okay.
Remains, yeah. Yeah.
So this is, I better cross it. So this is crossed, and here instead of 3, only 1 remains.
Only one. Yes. Yes.
So the question is, you got your 5 bitcoins, but each bitcoin you got is at
At a
different
different.
price.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Okay.
then what we need to, for our accounting purposes, it is very useful to really understand what is the average price of your purchase, the average price
Right.
at which you got your bitcoins. And that's precisely VWAP, actually, because
Exactly.
you paid for 1 bitcoin, you paid 16,000 in this case,
Right.
plus for 2 bitcoins, you
I
paid
have to pay
16,001,
one. Yes.
plus for remaining 2 bitcoins in order to get 5, you
Right.
paid even higher,
Right.
16,002.
Two
So that the total amount you have paid in dollars, so that the
dollars. Yeah.
total dollars you paid, divided by the quantity of Bitcoin,
That will
is
be a
your average price.
price. Okay.
This is precisely VWAP.
Okay. So your fair price means this average price is depending on the demand. Means what is my requirement?
On both.
Whether I
On both. Actually, what I do eventually, I compute a
uh,
VWAP on this side, I compute a VWAP on this side, and
okay.
compute the average. I explain why I do that. Because this is primarily a way to discourage market manipulation and not to use manipulated orders in our calculations. Because
Okay.
what might happen is that someone can, for example, put a very tiny order somewhere here. So, for example, suppose that it is possible to, in BitMEX it is possible, in Binance as well, to place orders at fractions of dollars. So
Okay.
someone, for example, places a very tiny order for just not for a Bitcoin, but for example, for a few Satoshis. So for
Okay.
example, 1 Satoshi is here. 1
Okay.
Satoshi, not 1 Bitcoin. 1
Okay.
Satoshi is 10 to minus 8 BTC.
BTC.
A
Okay.
tiny order, but at the price, suppose that, for example, on ask side, at the price of 16,000.5.
Okay.
So what would it mean? If we simply compute a midpoint between the best bid and best ask, the midpoint would move.
Right.
It would move down. But in
Move
fact,
down.
as a
Yeah.
result of manipulation, it is as a result of a very tiny order being put below the current best bid, best ask. We
Right.
don't want it. If we instead compute VWAPs, then the impact of this tiny order on VWAP would be next
Yeah.
to nothing. VWAPs
Okay.
are stable under this type of manipulation when
Okay.
very tiny orders are placed at various price levels.
Okay. Now,
That's
one more
why,
question.
yes,
One more question. Here we have calculated VMAP by considering quantity of 5, right? So
yes.
when we calculate in general, what is the quantity we take? It is
In
the
general,
Mhm.
good point, very good point. Let's see that the general formula, by the way, is a little bit complicated. So
Okay.
suppose that VWAP, let's say
Hmm.
ask VWAP for the quantity of n is obviously 1 divided by n sum for all price levels, I would say
Okay.
from I1, this is ask levels, let's say,
Ask level. I equals
ask
to
from 1
ask level.
to some, let's say, A capital, which we don't know actually what this A capital is,
Hmm.
of price times A
Okay.
multiplied by quantity times A, quantity at level A, provided that, such that, now it becomes interesting.
Right.
First of all, um, the total quantity which we get,
Mhm.
sum from A equals to 1 to A, quantity A equals to our N.
Okay.
Um, and that's it, I think. So you iterate over price levels for ask from the,
Okay.
this is lowest ask,
Okay.
this is sum ask in the depth of the order book. You iterate until the total quantity appears to be n. If at some point the quantity QA is such that the sum becomes greater than n, then you truncate.
Okay.
And then you know the value of A, and you multiply the corresponding prices by your quantities, and you get the VWAP. Similarly, for bid VWAP of n, it would be 1 divided, and
1 by n.
here these prices increase with A. Here it would be bid
Okay.
from 1 to some B, PB, QB, with a similar condition, but now bid prices are decreasing with B.
Right. Right.
That's the formula. And it is much better implemented as an algorithm rather than just written as a formula.
Okay.
By the way, today, let's concentrate on getting the things working. But tomorrow, I propose that our developers will implement a formula for VWAP, and we'll see
Right.
how it works. Okay?
Exactly. No problem. No problem. So yeah, actually, I have just a doubt in this that why here we have just considered 5. So in general, when we talk about a fair price, we cannot consider 5. Then we have to go for some, a large number of data.
It depends. Good
Okay.
question, actually. I would say that if, for example, you take instead of 5 a very low value, for example, 1 Bitcoin,
Right.
then it would be affected more or less by these small manipulations when small orders are put in between. So it is not a very good idea.
Okay.
If you instead consider a very large value of n,
Right.
so for example, 10, 20, 100 Bitcoins, then
Hmm.
it is unreasonable because um, there is a tiny, not tiny, but probably less quantities of bitcoins placed away from the main levels, and it is more misleading than useful.
Right.
There is no I think fast and firm rules which n is to select, but I would say there are some rules. Select n, select n
Mhm.
to be the average trade size,
Okay.
to be the average trade size. I would explain what it means. If, for example, these are not bitcoins,
Right.
but FX currencies,
Mhm.
then there is a kind of standard that n is $1 million.
Okay.
$1 million or 1 million euros.
Okay.
So there is a kind of de facto standard. Typically, although you can execute very small orders as well in FX exchanges, but this is considered to be impolite. You are like polluting the FX CCNs if you execute very small orders. So if you do it once, it is okay. You may do it for technical reasons. If you do it multiple times, then probably your ECN manager would contact you and ask what are you doing, why you are executing those small orders. Typically, n is the minimum, the absolutely minimum n. If you do it below that, it is impolite to other users. Is 50,000, but 50,000 is considered to be tiny. Uh, More reasonable is let's say 100,000, but the standard one is 1 million. Now, if we consider, for example, 5 BTC
Mhm.
in crypto exchanges, this is currently equivalent to USD 80K,
Right.
which is pretty much reasonable to compute VWAP. It is not 1 million because
Mhm.
obviously these are still not professional currency exchanges. These are more like public BTC exchanges,
Mhm.
crypto exchanges. So maybe even 5 BTC is too big. Let's say we can consider 3 BTC, which is currently equivalent to 48, maybe 50K dollars, which is probably something like reasonable. So I would take 3 or 5 BTC as a reasonable volume for which we compute VWAP based on just, the de facto standards within the industry.
Now, I lastly one thing.
Okay.
I may be wrong. Of course, you can correct me. Now, the thing is that suppose here while calculating the fair price, okay, right? So here we have taken the five. We have just considered the example of 5 quantities. While calculating the W, can you just scroll up the things? I just
Yes,
want to see.
I can.
Uh,
Yes. Why is it a midpoint between two VWAPs?
no, my question is that suppose in this calculation, if we consider like for the ask price, right? Suppose we consider instead of taking 5, suppose I consider the total number of buyers. Okay, the total number of buyers or the bidders. And second side, if we consider the total number of askers, in the sense sellers, right? So instead of putting this number while calculating this VWAP,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
uh, suppose we keep that parameter.
No, it wouldn't be a good idea. You know why?
Okay,
Because it would be prone to another type of manipulation. So if you
okay,
take into account very, very remote levels, then you
okay,
see what can happen. A manipulator can put a huge order very much away from the top of the book
okay,
for some purpose which is known only to them. So there are some market manipulation techniques which may actually warrant this type of activity. In
okay,
regulated exchanges, for example, in the United States, that would be completely illegal. There is a Dodd-Frank legislation which makes it illegal and punishable by prison putting
okay,
orders on the exchange without the intent to trade. And that's precisely
okay.
what happens. If you put a very large order away from the top of the book, then it is quite clear that it
Yes,
will not
yes,
be
yes.
traded. You put it for some psychological reason in order to, for
Reasons.
example, if a huge order is put somewhere into the depth
Right.
of the ask, then this means that there is now an imbalance. There are more asks than bids.
Okay.
And
Beats.
when
Yeah,
there is
yeah.
more asks than bids, it is a sign that the price will go down.
Go
So
down. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
manipulate the market by creating a false impression that the price should go
Yeah.
down. And
Right, right,
unfortunately, if we consider far remote levels, then
right.
because in these exchanges, in Binance, for example, it is not enforced and not punishable if someone does this, and people do this. So if we
Okay.
take a too small amount for VWAP, then we are prone to manipulation with small orders close to the best price. If we take either very large value here or just a large number of levels, which is the same
Right.
thing actually, then we are prone to that type of manipulation. So it is
Okay.
a kind of best balance which we are trying to achieve in this case.
Okay. Okay. I understood now. Yes, yes. Now it is clear to me. Thank you, Leo. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay. So
Yes.
if no more questions, then we can wrap up our session for today and
Yes,
reconvene
yes.
tomorrow. But I just reiterate my my request to consolidate at least the Binance book and put the consolidated one in GitHub. Okay.
I
Yes.
have a doubt, not regarding to the development, but Aditya sir, you gave me the role to talk to the media. So
Mhm.
exactly when will that happen and on what platform?
I even actually, I also don't have a perfect idea about it because officially from our AIM side, they have not said anything to me. They have not conveyed any message right now. This is actually Alex told me regarding this, and maybe the Russian media, they may ask you or they may approach you to talk. So I think it would be better if you can talk about these things because
Yeah,
you
okay,
know the
sure.
coding and all these things, right? That is only the reason that you can explain it in more technical way to them. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
that is the thing. Okay, right? Or from our side, if it is anything that I will definitely let you know in advance. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Rakesh, are you there on the line? Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. So
Yes,
I
I'm here.
think now you can conclude. No, now don't have any questions. So yes.
Yeah, that's all. I don't have any questions on my end.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Uh,
So
I think we are.
yeah. So we
Uh,
conclude today's meeting and
Let's conclude it.
see.
Yes, let's conclude and
Yes.
reconvene tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
yeah,
Okay.
Wonderful.
that's
Good. Bye. Wonderful. So bye. Good
Bye.
night,
Thank you.
everybody. Good
Good
night,
night,
everybody.
and thank you for participating.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, Leo. You are explaining it very patient way. Sometimes
Thank you. Thank
maybe
you. It's pleasure. It's
yes.
pleasure for me to do so. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Bye. Thanks.